Ping Golf has been on like one of the weirdest equipment benders that I can remember seeing from a major OEM, especially leading up it into a major, and I think it's worth talking about. And of course, we're starting with Viktor Hovland, who is back doing Viktor Hovland things. This right here is Viktor Hovland's old faithful driver, a Ping G425 LST that came out in 2021. He has used this thing basically religiously, including during his win just a couple of weeks back at the Valspar. So naturally, the week of the year's first major, he decided to put a brand new driver in the bag. And that new driver is a Ping G440 LST 7.5 degree set at 7.25. His old one was at 8.4 degrees, so over a degree less loft. And the shaft is a 2024 Fujikura Ventus Velocore Plus Black 6TX. Now don't get me wrong, that might seem weird, but this story is weirder. Sahith Theegala has struggled to hit his 7-iron and his pitching wedge. So rather than just like practicing, he had Ping take a 7-iron, weld in the 7, and then laser engrave an 8 on it. And he did the same thing with the pitching wedge, sort of. Instead of engraving a 10, they put an 11 because Sahith has never seen anybody have an 11-iron. Unfortunately for Sahith, he is simply not Tej, because if he was, he would know that Callaway already did this. Here's a really good one. I don't think many people have noticed. Cory Conners, who has statistically been not a great putter on the PGA Tour, never finished inside the top 100 in strokes gained, just a couple of weeks ago put a new Ping low torque putter in the bag. Not zero torque, low torque. And since then has gone on to have 3 top 10 finishes, not the greatest week last week putting, but 3 out of the last 4 all positive strokes gained. Here's a slightly better look at the head. They're calling it the Ally Blue Onset 15 degree. My guess is the reason they're calling it a 15 degree is because it has 15 degrees of toe hang. And the big thing here is it does not seem like Ping is shooting for no torque. They are just messing with different torque profiles. As you can see, I believe this is the 15 degree, then you've got a little bit more toe hang, then a little bit more, and these all have onset. Moving on to somebody who was last year's big story at the Masters, Neil Shipley. Just a couple of weeks back when he was playing in the Valspar Championship, he was looking for a secondary teeing option. But unlike most OEMs, Ping doesn't really believe in the idea of making a smaller headed mini driver. So they literally made Neil Shipley a minier actual driver. It is a Ping G440 Max 12 degrees set at 10.5 with a Fujikura Ventus Black TR8X. And according to Shipley, it is playing right around 43 inches. And speaking of G440 drivers, you certainly cannot forget about Phil, who is still gaming a 440 LST this week at Augusta. And of course, Uncle Phil is a live golfer, and this comes just a week after reports came out that Ping Golf might be the second OEM to sponsor a live team. Then you have the legend of Bernhard Langer, who is playing his final Masters this week. And the legend will of course be doing so, gaming a legend, the Ping G400 driver. And we'll end it here. The man from yesterday's video who spent 2 years in prison but is back at the Masters is gaming a full set of Ping clubs. Well, almost a full set.